St. Bernard's Animal Medical Center is a full-service veterinary clinic located about midway between Oshkosh and Fond du Lac in Van Dyne. A lot of people ask me why I chose the name St. Bernard's. I don't have a St. Bernard dog yet, but we live in an area where there are a lot of respected human hospitals that were started by Catholic organizations. St. Agnes is one. We want to emulate the cleanliness and the quality of medicine practiced in the human hospitals. And also St. Bernard's have such a wonderful long history of loyalty and helpfulness, and that's something that I really want to model my business after too.
The neat thing about rag spuns is that they add that dimension. Where a flat applique is just kind of boring, this textured applique, this rag spun, adds some zip to it and makes it stand out. And I think that's why a lot of quilters and sewers like them, because it's really different, and they're like, ooh, they want to touch it. I sell all over the United States, other countries. I have a website where I sell the things off of. So the second part of my business, which I just opened in November of 2011, is Rag Spun Studio LLC. My business is in Brandon, Wisconsin, and it's an old bank built in 1915. Actually, the postmaster there had talked to me about, are you ever going to get bigger? You're always bringing these packages down. And I'm like, no, I'm just working out of my basement, keep going. And she was on the village board at the time of Brandon. And she said, who I think you should contact is FCEDC. And I'm like, what is that?
Well, when a client comes into FCEDC wanting to start a business, we'll sit down with them. And generally they'll say, okay, here's my idea. I really want to get this started. How do I do that? Well, the first thing we really do is tell them, well, if you're going to need for any kind of financing for your project, you would need to write a business plan. It really gives them a roadmap for where they're going. It gets all their ideas in their head. These guys come in and they've got great ideas, and they're going at 100 miles an hour, and we say, hey, you got to focus down, get this down onto paper so you know what you're looking at and the sort of ideas that you want to do. And then it's also, if they're going for any type of financing, whether it's through a local financial institution or even a private investor, and also through our revolving loan funds, we will be asking them for a business plan.
They helped me develop a business plan, which I had no idea how to do. And doing that allowed me to overcome some practical and financial obstacles, and not only allow me to get financing for the actual construction and development of the business, but also planning for the future. One of the major challenges that we faced was, first of all, figuring out where we're going to set my business up. Where would I run my business? And we settled on my family farm. And we had an existing granary that the previous owners sold feed and seed out of, and it had beautiful bones. It's a neat old building, but it needed a lot of work.
I need to know if it's feasible for me to take this business a step farther. And then when he said, well, yeah, that's what the business plan's going to do, and that's what we can help you with. And that's when I really stepped forward and thought, okay. And there was a competition coming up for a business plan. And not so much, I don't think the competition part of it, as it gave me a deadline. He said, Rhonda, it has to be done by January 9th is the deadline of the competition. And my birthday is January 9th. And I couldn't think of a better thing to do than to work for it and get it done. It was a lot of work, and I did hand it in on January 9th. And went from there, winning second place. I'm still working on that business plan because I'm still constantly thinking, how can I get that group of ladies from that area to come to Brandon?
For me, what was the most useful was the resources of people, and not feeling judged that I didn't know at the time how to develop a business plan and obtain the funding. Just very helpful, kind people who were always very easily accessible when I needed to ask a question or get some help.
I tell people it is scary to start a business, especially nowadays. But especially learning through FCEDC, there's a lot of advantages to starting a business right now. If you're a hard worker and you have that feel and that drive for something that you believe in, they're there to have that drive with you. I got a whole education in writing a business plan. I got a business degree, I think.